Hello, welcome. This is my fourth live stream in at least 2.5 years. Anyways, thank you for stopping by. Today, I am just gonna, paint, and why I do that, I am going to talk about painting when it comes to wood burning, but also coloring too, and just a little bit of some safety precautions when it comes to painting and wood burning. Anyways, let's get started. As you guys can see, it is mostly done. I do want to apologize for the clutter though, but I gotta have a few things on hand just in case I need it. But yeah. I'm trying to focus on the sunflower today just because it's really awkward because of the stands, which I'm hopefully going to wood burn after this, but I'm trying to really focus on at least the center of this before I do that. Anyways, besides just painting, you can also besides just painting, there are actually other ways that you can color when it comes to wood burning. One of them is either Sharpies or maybe markers, which I would precautious if you decide to do that. You will would probably have to depend on the brand of markers and the wood, mainly softwood. It's like pine is what I'm thinking of, just because it can bleed through. But I think, especially if you're using a Sharpie, I know sometimes that it can be an issue, but also you can use color pencils. Like I said, it really depends on the type of wood. But also there is a type of color pencil that is called watercolor pencils, I believe. I'm kind of, to be honest, not familiar with it, but I could be wrong. But yeah, when it comes to painting and wood burning, you have a lot of options. But something I would not recommend, by the way, is to burn over the paint. I know us human beings make mistakes, so we can, for example, if I would paint, this actually has happened to me in the past. You guys probably have seen it, but just, but I actually have painted within the crevice of the paint. What I would, like I said, do not use your wood burner like so. By the way, this is off, and try to burn it off because, well, besides, basically the chemicals in the paint, well, it will basically release a chemical in the paint, so it'd be very harmful for your body. I don't really know the scientific analysis, but basically, just like with wood burning, I know I made emphasis on about the safety of different types of wood and stuff like that, about making sure that you need to double check if it is varnish or not, because that the heat would release chemicals which you would inhale, which it can be bad for you in the future. But yeah, if you ever, go over a mistake, you can either use a paper towel or wipe, or what I normally do is use a toothpick. But yeah, basically, I would recommend burning your image first, then vice versa. Believe it or not, I have seen people on forums that would do the reverse. I personally don't know how would they do it, but I actually did talk to someone that actually, and I'm not trying to call this person out, by the way. I'm only trying to use the tail as a cautionary tale, because what they did is that they basically used the thinner paint. It had to do with the different layers of the paint, and for the thin layers of the paint, they would just burn over very lightly, and for the thicker layers, they would do it at a very higher volume, high temperature, which I just want to point out that even then, the wood underneath would not burn very dark. And I actually see some YouTube videos do this too. Yeah, I'm going to let that fry. I know I have a few people saying, with these safety tips, I'm being overcautious. I mean, but these are tips that everyone should know when going into wood burning. And even then, even if you burn over the mark with the paint, it's just going to leave a scorch mark, but it's going to leave the painting very ugly real fast. Yeah, I'm currently just doing the fourth layer at the moment. The paint I normally use is aesthetic paint, but I do use watercolor paints too. Or sometimes in my case, I would dip my brush, then I would use the artistic. Sorry, tongue tie. I just dip it in my paint and just use it as that. But yeah, like I always say, if you guys ever watch my videos, is feel free to experiment and always see what is comfortable for you. Because in the end, this is your project, and you should do what you feel is best for you. But also feel free to experiment too, because it also shows a lot of growth too. Now, I normally just go over the paintings casually, then I will go over a second time and get all the nook and crannies. And then I do the shading and whatnot. I know everyone, would just, focus on one corner, do that detail, move on to the other, but I really prefer just do one layer, then go over with another layer, because that's how I feel comfortable with. But yeah. Anyways, acrylic paint, I kind of use most of the time. Like for the, and of course, I just bought these, really good brand, but to be honest, I normally just go with this brand most of the time, but it kind of depends on the situation. But I go with acrylic paint, not just because it shows the texture of the brush strokes, which I would say can really add to painting. Similar to what I said, when it comes to wood burning, but also, has a very bold texture to it, and it really doesn't soak into the wood, and while it also doesn't get the fade that I want to go for if I use watercolor. I mean, I do enjoy watercolor. If you guys follow me over on my Instagram, you will know that I actually try to get back into doing more watercoloring as of earlier this year. Okay. Pardon me. Okay, but yeah, like I said, I do like using watercolors, but it kind of depends on the situation, not just with the art piece itself, but also the wood. Because as you can see, with the acrylic paint, it's just a solid. But with the acrylic paint, with watercolor, it tend to bleed. And like I said, if that ever happens, just use a paper towel or a toothpick or anything but a hot tip. There we go. But yeah, when it comes to watercolors, I do like watercolors. They can be easier to blend in certain places. I like it. I know most people probably disagree with me, but I do like it because you can layer them by using more/less water. Kind of depends on what you're doing and also the type of wood. Because believe it or not, there's a lot of types of wood out there, and trust me, that's the reason I make a difference between softwood and hardwood. That was she said. Nope. Die. But yeah, I gotta say the one probably good thing about using paint instead of those color pencils, maybe watercolors and Sharpies is that if you made a bone mistake, because let's be honest, I made my fair share of boning mistakes, marks that you can easily paint it over and none would be the wiser. And some of you guys may be asking why I'm switching between paints, paint brushes. Sometimes besides some of these being not in so good shape, sometimes like the outline calls for a different one, if that makes any sense. Like if I'm, going to paint a very small, tight gap, I'm probably going to use this one like I would probably here. And instead of using these, these flimsy, carefree brushes, as I call them, I use these tighter ones that are more together, so I will get a better stroke. And so the brush hairs, I think they're called, won't be all over the place. Just to keep it in a nutshell, there is more reasons, but I try not to talk too much your ear off now. Now, I know some of you may be wondering why I bond some of the shading instead of actually shading it myself. I have been trying something a little bit different than what I did my last two sunflower woodburning project. I'm sorry, slip the tongue. But yeah. There we go. But yeah, this is the exact situation, by the way, I want to bring up because as you can see, the paint is in between the gaps here. What I don't want to do, and by the way, this is off, is to burn it because the paint is still going to be there, and also the fumes are just going to vapor off and into your lungs, which is, a no-no. What I normally do is I was, scratch the paint off the best I could with a toothbrush and later wipe it down with a wipe. By the way, I do want to apologize if my space looked like a disaster. I have yet to pick it up fully from my Into the Spider-Verse project. So also, it's a little bit. It's actually a lot claustrophobic at the moment. But yeah, as you can see, one thing I love about using paint is that I love, foaming the brush so you can actually see the flow and bring so much to the painting itself. At least when it comes to, things like this. I actually made a commission for a friend of mine that was an artist. And that's what I kind of realized, that you cannot just use that technique for painting, but also for wood burning. I do believe I went into that with one of my shading videos. I believe it was the one I made in May. But yeah, you might be wondering why I'm painting the outer pebbles, like petals, and not the front ones. I'm going to use a different shade of yellow for that. Also might be adding some red highlights later. That's why I was experimenting a little bit with there. By the way, something I wanted to bring up in my last video, when I went over shading but didn't. When it comes to wood burning awkward, awkward, pieces, I would suggest trying to find the most safe way possible to burn it without, putting any, of trying to find the most comfortable way without maybe potentially hurting yourself. Because believe it or not, you're dealing with literally a car battery with a hot iron tip that could end up pretty nasty. I know sometimes in my videos some people say I'm overcautious, but I have seen some horrible, videos that, and some of the comments saying, that, sometimes there was safety guidelines that they didn't know about, that these people on these tips sites that they're not saying. And it's those tips that, made me a better, at least a better artist, so I can, plan ahead of time while also still doing something that I love. But yeah, today we're just going to do the fourth layer. I cannot show you I'm sorry. I'm actually going off a photo that I took only a couple of weeks ago. So yeah. But yeah, for this I'm just going to keep the painting very simple, while also trying to get a I guess a antique rustic look, I guess. But yeah, I might try maybe doing some different ways of coloring when it comes to woodburning. I mean, I've been trying to re-educate myself on watercoloring this year. So hopefully I can do more of that in the near future. Because I know most of you did actually like that when I did it. Now the reason I do not use this yellow a lot because it is very runny. The only reason I am using this is because it's a lighter shade of yellow, but also it kind of has that color yellow look I was aiming for. And I know some people ask me where I get my supplies. I get them from Michael's. From the hobby store. Sorry if this is as entertaining as watching paint dry, but I'm currently trying to focus on the reference I'm doing, but also painting, and also trying to make sure that my stream doesn't go down. But yeah, let me guys know if you'd like me to do this more. I know I haven't done it in like 2.5 years. I think the last time I did is when I did my Targaryen sigil, which actually I have right here. Now I speak of it. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure if you guys can see the difference, but you can't see the different types of yellow. Sorry. But yeah, I will be probably posting this on my YouTube channel, which I'll be posting down in the comments below. So I linked to my YouTube channel. But yeah, in my last video, I talked about, I did go over some more shading. So thanks for that. I'm probably going to blend these colors a bit more off screen. But like I said, I like to get the first layer done, then go back, fill up all the little outlines, then go back and do the details. That's kind of my main routine when it comes to not just painting, but also my wood burning process. I know some people just do everything in one sitting, or they focus on one thing and just do everything. But if you have a process that works for you, go for it. But even then, nothing wrong about exploring and developing your skills. I mean, heck, when I was making my Winnie the Pooh ornament for a friend, I did that just because I was trying to recreate the original look from the book, mind you, not the Disney version, of the Winnie the Pooh look, but if it was basically what I was doing, I was taking the Disney version of Winnie the Pooh, but in the original watercolor look from the books. So basically the Winnie the Pooh that's in the public domain, but not Disney. But it actually turned out really well, and because of you, your guys' great feedback. That's why I'm trying to go back into that. Also, back into watercoloring. But it kind of I'm trying to experiment a little bit because some softwoods can absorb the wood and it can bleed over and it can ruin the painting. So haven't been experimenting too much just because I have other things to do. But I think the best choice for that would probably be hardwood. That would be my guess, at least. But yeah, I like to fan out the now this is probably painting 101, but when it comes to my particular Woodburn, I like to fan out just so there's no like globs of paint first time, but still that you can still see the paint, and depending on what you're working on, that can add so much to it. And by the way, if you're trying to experiment, I suggest maybe doing it in like a corner. And if you don't like it, you can just paint it over and or erase it. It can be for like any media, because who knows what it can bring to the table. Well, I guess no offense, no puns intended. Now you see why I don't like using this particular paint. It's really runny, and you can obviously see the little globs that really are bugging the heck out of me. But I'm kind of trying to dab over it. But even then, I think it's adding some, at least maybe some characteristic. But there's a reason I do not use this yellow very often. And also, it's a bit too bright for my taste. And yes, I could mix it up with with another color, kind of depending on the what the color. But it's just too much work for the effort. Now, depending on depending on what kind of paint you're using, you would probably need it. Now, like I said, it's kind of depending of how much you're willing to go the extra mile. There actually is different types of brushes for different types of paints. Like to be honest, the ones I'm using go well with this paint, apparently, I think. But they're all supposedly the different types of paint, different brushes for different types of paint. Like for watercolors, and the paint I'm using. But because of art supplies are low really pricey, I try to stick to some good quality buses. So I'm just throwing that out there for anyone. And even then, in my case, I don't do that because I'm painting on wood, not on a canvas. But I do want to throw it out there for people who do want to look into that. And there we go. It looks awesome. Now, as you guys can, I just want to point this out in my video, but I did do a lot of shading on this, which I'm probably going to do with the painting a little bit. And I just want to at least do this bee's wing before I leave. Now what I'm actually doing here is that I'm actually not painting it solid. Mainly due to the fact that I want to have like a transparent like look to it. So I'm not going to have it as a solid white. As you can probably see, I can probably take a photo of it later. I actually am trying not to move the Lazy Susan around too much, especially in my videos. Just because when I see when you speed it up, it can be a little hard to make out what I'm doing. And there we go. We have a magnificent sunflower piece with a lovely bee. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I hope you guys let me know if you guys would like me to do these short live streams. I don't mind doing it if you don't mind the very slow burn, no pun intended, of these. I will be probably talking about wood burning and probably stuff that I talked in my videos. Anyways, thank you for stopping by and have a nice rest of the day. And feel free to check out the link down in the comments below for my YouTube video if this caught your eye.